Leadership is not about being in charge. It is about taking care of those in charge of you. Good afternoon, everyone. It is an honor and privilege to welcome you all to this special occasion, the farewell ceremony of Mr. Balasundaram Athreya. Today is not just about bidding farewell. It is about celebrating a remarkable leader who has left an indelible mark on our institution. In every organization, there are individuals who become its heartbeat, not just through their work, but through the passion, values, and vision they bring. Mr. Basu is undeniably one such individual. His contributions have gone far beyond strategic initiatives and partnerships. He has shaped the culture, mentored countless individuals, and elevated the academy to new heights. The story of MABFSI's growth is in many ways also the story of Mr. Basu's leadership. As we gather here today, we do so with immense respect, deep gratitude, and fond memories, ready to celebrate not only his professional accomplishments, but also the impact he has had on all of us, personally and collectively. To begin this celebration, I would like to invite Dr. Soumyadeep Roy, Vice President and Head of Academics at Manipal Academy of Banking, to share his reflections and thoughts on Mr. Basu's contribution.
Hi, Basu. Thank you, Preena. I won't take much time. Basu is the first person I met at MABFSI. So after I got hired, Mansich took me to the university, to the Yelahanka campus. I met, Professor Madhu was not there, I met some other folks there. And then I came here, and he's the first person I met. And I think I got a very good idea of what the academy is about after meeting you. It was a brief meeting, if you remember, 30 minutes, 35 minutes, because we had to go back. And he said something, he said, I live and breathe the academy. I remember you said that. And after that, it's 6 months I've worked with you. I think Ellen has worked longer than me. But every time I've taken a walk around the campus, there was a time I went to the kitchen, I came and told you that Basu, I've gone and seen the kitchen. So he would be like, have you seen this? Have you seen that? Have you seen that? And then I figured, you know, he's somebody who's built this institution, right? So institutions are built by people, and every single thing. There was one time when he showed me pictures of that MNE campus when it was being built, if you remember. So there were pictures where the walls were being built and there were bricks, and so I figured that this man has been part of building not just the academic part of it, the infra part of it. The culture of this place has a lot of you, if I may say so. And I'm sure our engagement is not going to end here. My personal engagement with you and the institution's engagement with you will not end here. And I've learned a lot from you, and I might reach out to you in the future as well. So thank you very much, Basu, and all the best. And I hope I can reach these heights at some point. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Soumyadeep, for those warm and thoughtful words. Next, I would like to invite Mr. Ellen, our Head of Campus and Infrastructure, to share his perspective on working alongside Mr. Basu and the role he played in shaping our campus environment.
Good afternoon, all. Basu, I had to write down because there were a lot of things, so I tried to keep some key projects or key things which I wanted to state here. My journey with Basu goes back in 2017. I was with Meritrack, and Basu was heading along with the current role. He was also looking after technology along with Balakrishna Rao actually at that time. And Meritrack delivery, although it's more labor intensive, very difficult to deliver, but the technology piece plays a lot of importance because we need to make sure that the delivery is intact when we are doing the on-campus delivery in terms of the exams which we conduct. So that's when we sat with him one day. We took a board in the Sarjapur office and we started mapping the process actually. So that's when I started working with Basu firstly actually when I was in merit track. Next when I started to move to MAB, it was in 2018. So Ravi asked me telling that there's a new opportunity, so I think you'll fit this particular place, so you can move to MAB at that point of time. So I told Ravi, I've known him for over 15 years, and then I told, you know me, so it's fine, so I'll try and take it. But I've never done infra and services till that time actually in my entire career. So I moved here in 2018. Now at that point of time actually when I met Basu here, he had built a great team, great campus, everything was already built actually, and he had set processes. Many things were manual but very, very cleanly defined processes which people were following across the campuses in 2018. And that was the first time I met him in the third floor actually and with the entire team. So that was when I started working with MAB firstly. And I never imagined within 4 to 6 weeks we will be jumping into the SBI project actually. So we were sitting in Basu's cabin in Mage, that was in, it was on close to Leela Palace where we were there, and we were sitting along with Guru, me and others were sitting, and we were trying to do the reverse auction for SBI and trying to win that tender. When we were trying to quote, we never realized what we were getting into, and we got an order, we all were happy, but the count of learners we had to train in 1 month in December was 5,500. And we don't know where the capacity is and how to deliver that, and they gave us 15 days time to get started from where we worked on. So we worked with Basu, and at that time we had Dr. Tamaya also. So we worked and set up 7 locations to deliver this 5,500. I think that's been the largest count at once we delivered actually in our history of MAB, and we could turn from nothing into 7 different locations. And a lot of you here have contributed, many of them who are outside have contributed to it from academic, sales and infra, have done a great job on that project. But that was the first time we were just put into water to swim actually and come out safely. So we did really well actually on that project. So that was the first time I got to work with Basu. But also he had left a huge legacy when he had already started building H block, he had started building G block, which was already in its H was already close to its final stages and G was already in mid of construction, which he had already designed and worked with landlords to build actually, and many of you are already looking at it. So if you ask me today, H block is a role model for any of the hostels actually. So whenever we are trying to get anything new, I tell them, yeah, can you get something similar to H actually, which is built very, very well, and it is done. So a lot of learnings, Basu, from that. And the STP project 700 KLD till now, Basu walks most of our customers, he has walked us there, vendor partners, he has walked us there. So the STP which we built with 700 KLD, quite unimaginable because we work with about 20 different landlords. Each one owns a piece of the land here, and we tried to build a centralized STP when we don't own a single square feet of space in this campus. It's an amazing job actually. So when we sat at the puja actually to get this done, so we thought that we'll hopefully get this done, but we have been operating it for the last close to 6 years now. Very well we have been doing it. We have met all the compliances, pollution control norms and everything. Amazing project, Basu, actually. So it's a great learning for us in terms of STP also, what we tried doing. But later when we were with corporate, we tried building the Emerald office. So that was a new thing where I still can remember we sat on the floor and we were pasting masking tapes to see which layout to choose actually. So from what that office looks like even today. So when I spoke even of late last week to Ajay Jindal from BPL, he still tells, yeah, it's a great office. So I think it's come out really well actually. It's worked very well. It's a huge learning. I just put up some snippets. I did not put a lot of things. Otherwise it will look like an infra review. I'm just quoting a lot of examples over the past so many years you have worked over here. But apart from that, I think many of you who are here, I don't know if anybody is in the room who has not sat with Basu on an Excel sheet. So when I moved from Meritrack, and prior to that I was with both Infosys and HCL, the tool we used the most was PowerPoint presentations actually. We used to create a lot. Of course, Excel was a media to which you will collect data and then put it onto PPT. I saw a gentleman who could create PPTs in the Excel sheet itself. So he'll start with Excel, work on Excel, present on Excel and come out of Excel. So anything you give him, he will again go back to Excel sheets actually. So most of them, whoever has learned Excel very well actually today, a lot of credit to Basu, and I think we have learned to manage a lot of cost related elements and other things. It has really helped us, but we never thought that we could do so much with Excel actually. The amount of activity you have taught us actually on Excel, Basu, it's a great thing. Now, if you look at any talent, you go to him with any subject, very difficult, he tells no. Either he will tell, yeah, I need some time, but he will go through that and research and come back. I even gone to him with the medicine which I took one day. He started giving me the composition of the medicine. Even the doctor may not be able to tell so much actually what he did. So because he did medes, so he started giving composition of the medicines. I told Basu, so okay, so which one to take now? Which medicine to take actually? They gave me 2. So he was telling this is this, these are the pros and cons of these medicines. So he goes up to that. So it is great. But whenever we have a problem and multiple solutions, he just gives us suggestions or inputs. He has been, but one great learning with him is you have to throw the right questions. Otherwise, you are not going to get what you want actually. So if you ask him, so you will get what you wanted. Many of us here and outside this room have been mentored by him, both at MAB and at Mage. And I think, thank you, Basu. Actually, it's been a great learning experience for us. But one good thing is he never concludes anything without getting into depth of any of the topics actually, whatever he is looking into. So he'll never tell that, okay, this we will do, let us and experiment. He will still go study that in depth and then try and do whatever is required. So this was all about work. I just told Basu at work actually till now. But as a person is very jovial, very nice person. He helps everybody in need. Whoever goes to his room with some problem comes out with some solution or he'll help. I've seen many occasions where he has gone beyond his capacity to help people. He has fought for people. He shouts at many other people to get things done for his people. So it is not only family to him, the team. So it is much more than his own family at home. So he has always taken good care of us. I think many of you know he's a great singer, great orator. I don't know how many of you know he writes great poems actually. He still writes great poems in multiple languages. He writes great poems. I think to understand it, I will again need to go through Google because it's very difficult to understand the poems because so much of knowledge he has in many of the languages. I feel he's a great all-rounder. On behalf of the entire Infra and Services team, Basu, thank you for a great learning experience. You've been a great mentor, guided many of my team, myself actually, and provided support to all of us at Manipal Group. I wish you all the best and thank you, and we will come back to you when we need some help actually. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ellen, for that heartfelt message. And now, to speak about Mr. Basu's broader influence, leadership and remarkable journey, I invite Mr. Amrish Sinha, CEO of Unext, to take the stage.
Hi, good evening everyone. I think we had planned this farewell, or I would say just a small gathering to appreciate what Basu has done for not only the BFSI Academy but across the group in various roles that he has played. And as any good leader, he was very reluctant. It required much convincing. Finally, I had to call him personally one day and I said that yes, we all will keep catching up, but once the larger audience also should get a chance to meet you and just celebrate your success over the years. So obviously I think it's been a glorious 16-17 year run. 16-17 year run for Basu. He has worked with the current leadership. Of course, Dr. Ranjan is always there, but with Vaiti, Nishit, Sridhar, Anand, and lots of other people, but these Somnath. Yeah, and of course all of us here at Mage and then at Unext, he has been a constant part. When did I first meet Basu? I think I joined in 2019 and almost 6 years back in July, August of 2019 as CEO for Meritrack. And I met Basu, I think, in the same month at the old Airport Road office. That time he was I think, a little bit away from BFSI. He was looking at some parts of the business, but was also doing some roles at Mage in terms of kind of officiating as a CTO, looking at some new projects, the other campuses that were there, which now we have moved out as international campuses, which Niranjan looks at. Many of you would know of Niranjan. So I think it has been a long journey of 6 years with him, but in the last 2 years, since Ravi's retirement, is that when he and I have worked closely. And I think whatever Ellen has said, I think Soumyadeep also had a short stint and handover from him. But all of you sitting here, whether it is the infra team which he built from grounds up, or it is the academic team that he has interacted with, or the finance team, or even the larger ecosystem IT teams. I remember when we were setting up Unext, Arun and Rajneesh, Arun, who's now our CTO, has great and extensive interactions with Basu on things, even in the university side. Last week, I think last week, no, 3 weeks back, Dr. Dilip Agarwal retired as the Vice Chancellor for SMU. And when he came to meet me, I called Basu also to Unext, because he had such fond memories of working with him in the Nepal campus. And of course, we divested that campus a couple of years ago. So I think that is the kind of man he is, and the impact that he had on everything. And I mean that genuinely. And I have also had great opportunity and great interactions to see his leadership in action, especially the BFSI Academy, the kind of engagements at MEB that he had with the partners. Almost all the partners know him, most of them in a good way. And so I think it's been a great and a remarkable journey, and 16, 17 years is a long time. And I think he's been, he has contributed to almost all the organizations. This part, of course, has been his flagship role, but I think he has engaged in the university side of things. He is instrumental in helping MEMG in many projects, international campuses, building them out. I think almost all of them, whether it is Malaysia, Dubai, Nepal, also helped in some of the aspects of the Mahe Bangalore campus when it was coming up, and now it is fully up and running. The Mage office now, which is part of the BPL, where we have acquired complete stake, Unext. So he's been instrumental in pretty much shaping the entire landscape of the stuff that we have done on the education side of things at MEMG, Mage and Unext in the last 16 years. So thank you, Basu. I don't think anybody will have that kind of a repertoire that you have had, and the kind of impact that you have created, both not only for the business but for the people, as a leader, as a mentor, and also the kind of comfort that you enjoy with the senior leadership of the group. I think both Dr. Ranjan and Vaiti have been very gracious, and they have been telling me that let's leverage whatever Basu has to offer in terms of experience for the group, and he continues to engage with us. But yes, like every good thing comes to an end. I think this is just an end of one chapter for him and a start of a new chapter where I think he will have a broader impact on the learning ecosystem rather than only focusing on some parts of the stuff. He's looking at engaging himself with Mahe in a deeper way, and he will always be available to us at MEB, BFSI, Unext or the Manipal group whenever we need his help. I think that's the message from all of us to him. But thank you, Basu, once again. I think it has been a great run. I only have great regard and wish you all the very best. And thank you for agreeing for this farewell kind of a thing for all of us to meet you once again. And we'll continue to be in touch. I think lots of things still to do, and the entire team will lean on you when they need some help and guidance from your side. I wish you the very best. We'll stay in touch, and thank you for all the work that you have done for the Manipal group. I will not restrict it to just say to Unext, Mage and MEB BFSI, but for the group what you have done. And on behalf of everyone, thank you for your partnership, contribution and your leadership. So guys, please join me in giving a big round of applause to him. Thank you once again.
Thank you, sir, for your inspiring words. We would now be honored to hear from the man of the hour itself. Mr. Basu, may I please request to share a few words with us?
I hate farewells. I don't do farewells. It's kind of, among the many things they teach you across your working career, and I've been working, 40 years. I started in 1983 as an article clerk, right out of graduation. 86 I finished my CA, 86 onwards I've been working. So, in all these 40 years, I have not learned how to walk away. Or I've not learned how to disengage or say, all right, that's done, let's move. But I've done it. I've done it, at least a couple of times. This is my longest working stint, 16 years with Manipal. Before that, my last working stint with one group, doing many things again, not just with one of their companies, was from 93 to 2008. 15 years with one group in East Africa. And walking away from that group was immensely difficult because it meant giving up a life abroad and resettling home for various personal reasons. Before that, of course, from 86 to 93, I worked across two jobs essentially. One with India Cements in Chennai and the other with SKF Bearings in Mumbai. But you see, what I was saying about they don't teach you how to retire. Over time, when you put in 15 to 16 years building something, creating something with a lot of people, and then you realize that you ended up actually achieving something with the ownership of so many, you feel you suddenly become part of it, and you suddenly getting up every morning and saying that I'm not worried, it rained last evening. Whenever it rains in the evening, the next call is to Padki in the morning, saying M&D campus mein, lab mein dekho, pani niche aa gaya hoga. And every time there is some issue with the rain or something, the next call is to Srivatsan. Are all your cabs in at 9 o'clock? Where are they? And now I find that I don't have to worry about that in the morning, and I have this rather blank stare, saying that why am I not worrying about this anymore? But I suppose it happened, okay. One of the things I did resist was I did not like a farewell here because I wanted to quietly kind of walk away. I've said my goodbyes to most of the people on a one-on-one level. Felt more personal that way. And I'm not sure how many of you have really observed, I'm not a limelight guy. I don't like to get in front. I'd rather have others handling the front, and I'd rather nicely smile and gloat from the back, feeling very happy for all of us, of course. And today also, I did not want to do this. I kind of fought with Ambrish saying that, please, no, I'm not coming. I didn't even want a farewell lunch till he said, at least ek khana to kha lo hamare saath. So we did a bit of that with the senior leadership. And today was supposed to be a small high tea in 103. And then Ellen kind of conned me into saying that, dekho, 103 mein fit hona mushkil hai. I said, listen, okay, very limited crowd, please. अच्छा चलो ऑडिटोरियम के पीछे करते हैं. तो ठीक है, ऑडिटोरियम के सामने ऑफ रख रहा हूँ, उधर मुझे कुर्सी नहीं दिखना चाहिए. And the next thing I know, it is exactly what I had really kind of not felt very comfortable with. But it's okay, all of your people. I mean, you're still a fraction of the people I've interacted with here. One part of me feels sad that I'm not able to go, pump everybody's hand, give everybody a hug and say, hey, all right guys, I've had my time, now take this institution to greater heights. I suppose I'm doing that only with this limited set of you, who are all leaders in your own right for your teams and your verticals. A lot of ideas we still have for this academy, a lot of evolution and challenges with the changing trends in the industry. Samideep and I have kind of discussed at length with it, agreed, disagreed, and generally hustled about everything else we could do. We've done that with Ambrish too. And it's upon all of you now to steer course further. And I'm sure all of you will do a fantastic job. We've had some excellent good news for this year already in terms of new clients. We are thinking of new innovations on product line, on content, on pedagogy, and everything else that we've kind of wrestled about. And in my brief time with academics, which I think was 22 to 24 December, I think I've been that bit of a nightmare to all of you. Luckily, not beyond that. Ask Chetna about implementation of Digi, ask Soumya about setting up sourcing mechanisms, ask Sarika or Smita, or for that matter Meena, about changing curriculums from 6 to 4 to 5 or whatever months it was, and trying to understand why we need to teach in a certain way. I still remember Supriya running behind me when I tried to visit class. She used to be put on guard duty. Banda ja raha hai class mein, dekho kaun se class mein ja raha hai. Aur wapas aake bolo. And of course, the infra team perhaps has listened to the cream of my French over time. And I mean, Ellen, of course, said all nice things, but I was his worst nightmare, really. Not that he cared to admit it, but then, yeah. See, my philosophy in life is that hustle and, pull yourselves apart when you're trying to achieve something. But beyond that, once you kind of guard there, let your guard down and be easy and free in terms of enjoying the fruits of that. He talked about us creating a 700 KLD STP. Believe me, before we created that, if I'd gone and told anybody that I have 7 hostels spread all over the place and I'm going to create one central STP, they would have laughed in my face. And yet, we fought against, conventional wisdom, created with the help of Padki and team, and I think Ramesh of Indavara, if I remember right, Padki. We kind of hustled and created a design, worked against gravity. You had to pump stuff up from the lower hostels to a higher ground. And eventually ended up creating something which actually worked. And I would have easily agreed with you if you had told me I had water on the brain 3 years before we started constructing it. And yet we achieved something which was environmentally admirable. We are all bulk waste generators, and you know how the BBMP fights with managing waste and getting people to be responsible about waste. So what we achieved in terms of a central plant and handling the waste treatment of a campus, which at least 2,500, if not 3,500 at a time people, is something we can really give all ourselves a pat on the back on. There are many case studies. This can easily be one. We've of course been quoted severally and over the years, rightfully so, in terms of the innovations we've had on the academic front, in the way we've created boot camp programs or even mid-career programs over time. Our brand, our reputation, the trust the industry has in our offerings and our ability to transform talent is unmatched. There are people who have left us and gone to the competition, and there are people who come back from competition too. And all of them will tell you one thing uniformly: the Manipal brand has no parallel in the market. And I think all of you are proud bearers of that legacy, as I have been. And I'll still be, I always tell people I'm still the ghost in the building. So I'll be there somewhere in some nook or cranny, always a call away. I'm taking a bit of a break, understanding what it means to not have anything to worry about or do. My residential colony management is behind me saying, make yourself useful to us. So I have a few jobs running there. As many of you may know, I have a special needs son. And I would reckon a greater achievement of my life, at the cost of sounding immodest, is not so much what I've achieved academically or professionally. That many people do. There have been people who've done it much better and much bigger than what I have. Managing a family where I had 2 daughters, an autistic son, and making sure that none of the facets of the family suffered, going through with all the trials and tribulations that a special needs person at home can give you. I've somehow been able to balance the board and not let MAB know that I have a challenge at home, or not let home know that I have a challenge at MAB. And somehow, with all your help and with all your cooperation, that has been a success. Yes, MAB is proof that we've achieved a lot. We built a lot of brick and mortar, we built a lot of offerings, we built a lot of services. But what we really built over the last 16 years is soul. We built soul, we built belief. And we built that, what they call in Tamil, Unnal Mudiyum Thambi. And we've done that, and we've got there. And today, I may walk away from a vocation or a job or a profession due to the inevitability of how things work. But I'm not walking away from the relationships I've built with each of you. And so I'll always be around whenever you need to feel the need to speak to me. And with Ambrish's help and with the group's help, I'm trying to see whether I can take on some visiting faculty duties at Mahia, Bangalore. And hopefully once that happens, I will be kind of rooting by at least once a month to say hello to all of you, grab a tea or something. All right. Thank you guys. I never thought or imagined I'd ever do a farewell speech, but here goes. I hope I've not messed it up. All right. Thank you.
Now, we would love to hear from you. Please feel free to share any of the memories you have about Basu sir. The mic will be passed on. Whoever would want to share a few words, the stage is yours.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening, sir. I have very few fond memories to share with us. For the first reason being that I was not directly reporting to him and there was always Mr. Murli in between. But very few occasions where I had to go for any kind of discussion or review. Initially, I did a lot of mistake of preparing for the meetings. Well prepared meetings, I enter his cabin, then I know all his questions for out of syllabus. So then I decided there's no point in preparing for a meeting with sir. Just go inside, questions are asked, and then whatever you have to answer, you answer and come back. But this eye for detail is one thing which I would always want to take a leaf out of sir. Any topic like, I think Ellen was mentioning, any topic you want to discuss with him, he knows in depth. And one of the best things is, we shared a lot of things on singing, Kishore Kumar songs, any OBLs. But for that, one day I get a call when I was in county, and then suddenly the question started. How many classrooms? How many labs? How many systems? What are those systems? He knew all that before even I could answer. He was testing me probably whether I knew about it. So that is when I thought, yes, there are a lot of things to learn, and then every minute thing. One instance which I would want to definitely recollect is when we were about to do the Bank of India program. It was a credit as well as an IT program. Myself, Murli and a couple of us, we were in Bank of India corporate office with their IT team, the CGM, everybody. And Mr. Basu logged in from here on a Teams call. He redefined the entire program and made Bank of India learn what they wanted for the program. They were not clear. That amount of clarity, and then what was executed exactly was what you had planned. That was a great learning. Thank you, sir. Thanks for everything in the very short term, whatever I had interacted with you. But always want to emulate that. Thank you.
With him goes for many, many years, and I would not repeat what already has been said, but extremely thorough to the last T. Of course, I have traveled him a lot, the lift in that building. One thing I think is very unique among you is taking an interest in everybody. So I think I called him for a personal function one day, and the first call, I think around 6, when we were not even getting ready, he called and he said, I'm so sorry I couldn't come because of something at home. So I think that gesture is really comes from the heart. And anything you do, he is very, very thorough, undoubtedly. And one thing I think you're different from others is you speak your mind. See, most of us would like to be correct and taking into account what the client wants here and there, but I think he has something, it is in his mind, you say it open, and ultimately I think it's the right thing, and that's how we have been able to crack so many programs and all that. And of course, regarding the infra, it so happens that you don't really realize the value of anything until it goes wrong. For example, a shower doesn't work at home or a tap doesn't, then you realize. I think the basis of infra that you have laid here, whether it's the Wi-Fi or the hostels or the lifts, I think we have probably taken it for granted, but I'm sure a lot of work has happened there. So thank you so much, and I'm sure that legacy will stay for you. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
I would like to invite the leadership team to come forward and present a token of appreciation, a small gesture of gratitude to Mr. Basu.